If you're a real estate agent that is running Facebook ads, or you've hired an agency and you're wondering why your ads are not performing or converting, then you want to watch this video, because I'm going to be sharing my exact blueprint of how we create our Facebook ads, everything from the ad copy, headline, primary text, description, as well as the exact ads manager settings that gets us the best quality leads that actually convert. Okay, so let's get right into it. First thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're in your ads manager. Now, this is not a tutorial about how to open up a Facebook business account or how to start an ad account. I've got other videos on that on my Skool community, which is free to join. So if you haven't already done so, I'll link it in the description. Make sure you actually go and join the community. It's absolutely free, so I don't know why you wouldn't want to join it. And I break down there how to start a Facebook ads account, business account, and how to actually get up to this point, okay? It's pretty straightforward. There's a few steps involved, but once you're here, assuming you have an ad account and you're running campaigns, or maybe you're not, you're brand new to it, then I'll show you step by step how to do that right now. So first thing you want to do is you want to create a campaign, okay? And as far as campaign objective, I'm in a demo account here. That's why I'm getting this message. You would not be getting this message, so I'm just doing this for test purposes, but this message wouldn't be there. But the type of campaign objectives that we want to run is we want to capture leads, right? Leads for your business or brand, and we're going to do it through instant forms. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. So hit leads, hit continue, and then you're going to get to this actual campaign page where it's going to ask you to name your campaign, and you could just call it, I'm in Etobicoke, so Etobicoke new buyers, okay? The campaign budget or ad set budget. This is asking whether you want your budget to be in the campaign level or ad set level. I'll explain what that is in a second, but the way I like to run it now is to have it in a campaign budget. Ad set budget is where you get to select your audience, who you're choosing to show your ads to. And what you can do is you can separate it. Within each campaign, you can have multiple ad sets or multiple audiences that you're showing your ads to. When I'm first starting a brand new campaign, I leave it at the campaign budget level because I let the campaign decide which audience or ad set Meta wants to show the ads to, which are actually converting. Meta and Facebook really is a huge multi-billion-dollar organization. Their algorithm is so far advanced that you don't really have to do too much detailed analysis on the audience. They're pretty good at figuring shit out. So I usually just leave it at the campaign budget, and I don't even mess around too much with the audience, which we'll get to later in this video. But for the purpose of this campaign budget, the ad budget that I like to start with is usually between $20 and $25 a day, or whatever you're comfortable with. I don't like to put an ad budget too high when I'm first starting out because I'm testing a campaign. So I usually start it at $20, especially if I'm running just one or two ad sets. So leave it at 20. Leave everything else the same. Campaign bid strategy, you want to leave it at highest volume. And that's it for this page. Then you want to go to the lead ad set page. And in this page, you can ignore this error because this is a demo account and I haven't accepted the terms and conditions, but that's fine. You would have. But in this page, you want to give your ad set name. The way I like to name this is I like to name this as the audience that I'm going to run. So let's just say for the purposes of this campaign, I want to run a campaign as one of the audiences to be realtor realtor and Zillow leads. Audience, okay? That's what I'm going to call it. And the second ad set I'm going to make after this, I'll make it as a wide audience where I'll let Facebook decide which kind of audience to pick. All of this is going to make sense in a second. So ad set name, realtor, Zillow audience. We're going to leave this at instant forms. Facebook has instant forms, which means that if your ad is shown to somebody, when they click on it, it pre-populates their name, phone number, email address, and it's Facebook's form as opposed to you having to create a form or a landing page, things like that. This tends to create the highest volume of leads. The lead qualities with instant forms tend to not be incredibly great. However, you can in this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually make the ad forms or the Facebook form leads quality higher and how I do it higher for us by using instant forms. There's other ways you can do it, like website, and you can, direct traffic there. But on your website, you need some kind of landing page, a form. This is the easiest way to do it is through the instant forms, and you can put layers of friction that'll actually get you higher quality leads. Okay, so let's leave it at instant forms for now. Facebook page is where you're going to decide which page you're running the ads out of. I'm going to default it to this page here. you would select whichever business account you're running this out of. I've got a real estate account here that I usually run ads out of, but again, this is a demo account, so I'm just leaving it as this. Okay, and then you're going to scroll down to audience. Now, this is where you want to select who you want your ads shown to. And what we're going to do here is for location, I'm going to cancel out Canada, and I'm going to put Toronto, Ontario, and I'm going to leave it at 40 kilometers radius. Now, one of the things you need to understand when you're running real estate ads for real estate leads, we're in a category called a housing category, and Facebook has a housing category as one of them, which means that we have to adhere by those regulations. We can't target by income, specific demographics, or specific neighborhoods because they don't want you to discriminate, and you want to stay within that category. In fact, speaking of which, I missed that in the campaign level. When you go back here I just went back to campaign, and the category, you want to disclose housing here. So that was a good reminder. And housing, and the country will be defaulted to Canada, so you leave it there. This is very important, guys. If you don't do this and Facebook figures out that you're running Facebook lead ads, they're going to stop. They're not going to approve your campaign. So very important to make sure you have the housing category turned on there. Okay, going back to lead ad set level, instant forms, and then we're going to go down here to audience, and we've selected here Toronto. As you can see, we can't actually go less than 25 kilometers per hour anymore because, we're restricted by the housing category. So this is the lowest we can go, but that's okay. I'll show you ways how you can actually maximize. It doesn't matter where your radius is because our ad creatives and our primary text and everything that we put in the ad itself is going to help Facebook figure out where our audience lives. So here I actually usually default it to like 40 kilometers because I do want people that are maybe living in Oshawa or Markham or the outskirts of Toronto who are looking to move to Etobicoke. So I'm okay with the radius being larger. Again, I'll let Facebook figure out who the best audience is. Okay, now for detailed targeting, this is where I start putting in for this particular ad set my interests for my audience. And in demographics interests, I put realtor.com. As one, as you can see, there it shows the size of the audience here. Under interests, I select that. And then here I select Zillow as the second one, and that's it. I select Realtor.com, Zillow. That means anyone that has interest in these two categories or these two as their interest, Facebook is going to start targeting them. Now for placements, I want to make sure that I control where the ads are being placed. Facebook defaults to all of their placements, which I don't want. So what I'll do is I'll go to platforms, and I will get rid of the audience network, and I'll just leave it to Facebook and Instagram. And then under placement controls, I don't want it to be running in search results. And what else do we have here? Let's get rid of Facebook in-stream videos. I don't really want to be on there. I don't really want to be on Facebook Reels we can leave on. Stories, we want them to be on stories. And feed, we want them to be on all the feeds. Except I get rid of Instagram Explorer Home, Facebook Business Explorer, and I just leave it, and I also get rid of Marketplace. I just leave it on the main feeds because that's where I tend to see the best conversion. So make sure you are selecting just these ones as best practice. And search results we've already got rid of, and apps and sites we've got rid of, and that's good. Okay. Next. Once we're done with the ad set level, we're going to hit next and then go to the actual ad level. Okay, again, ignore these signs because I haven't accepted the terms and conditions as a demo account, so ignore that warning. The ad level itself, we're going to name it as V1 or version 1 of the ad. You'll notice that when I run Facebook ads, I don't just run one creative or one actual ad that you're going to see. I run multiple ones because I want Facebook to test the different ad copies. So that's why I'm going to have V1, I'm going to have V2, V3. I'm going to have a number of different ads that I'm going to be running for this particular campaign. So I'm going to name my first ad V1. And when I go down to single image or video, yep, that's fine. And then here you're going to create your actual instant form. Okay, now this is where things get very important. You're going to click on forms, continue. Now here you're going to give it a name, call it new buyers, Etobicoke. We're going to leave it at more volume. Intro, greeting. Let's type here list of Etobicoke condos, because I'm going to be running condo ads here. And description, get your list of Etobicoke condos. Okay. Hit next. Now, Facebook by default leaves these questions in here, like full name, email, phone number, and most of the time it is pre-filled. And then what you want to do here is you want to leave these on as is. And right now the phone number is optional. I'm going to get rid of that so that it is mandatory, because I want the phone number, because I want to be able to call these leads afterwards. Okay, I don't want just their emails. Next, you're going to add another category, we're going to add another question, which is up here, and we're going to add a multiple choice, yes, question. Okay, a multiple choice question. We want them to select an answer to one question that we have. Now, this is where we start really qualifying the leads and getting a better understanding of the lead quality. Okay, now this is all we're doing at this point is we're adding another layer of friction by asking another question so that people actually have to think before they answer. Most of the times, most advertisers will just run the Facebook lead form with the generic questions, and people don't really think too much. They just hit submit, and it just sends the information, and they haven't really put too much thought behind it, and that's where the lead quality becomes really bad. This is where we filter and get higher quality leads. So the question that I like to ask here is, I don't want the question to be too high friction, but I also don't want it to be too low friction, which is just the 3 questions that Facebook is asking. So the question I ask is, what is your timeline to move, or timeline for purchase? Okay. Answer 1, I put 0 to 3 months. Answer 2, I put 3 to 6 months. 6 to 12 months. And then 12 months plus. Okay. So what is your timeline for purchase? 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months, and then 12 months and plus. Now, the reason I ask this question is, again, it's low friction enough where they just see the table and then they have to add another layer of thought behind before they actually hit submit. So this increases the lead quality, but it's not such high friction where they have to think too much. Where, for example, if you're asking them, which specific neighborhood are you looking in, and that you're making them write the answer, there people might just skip that and skip your ad completely, or your cost per lead is going to be extremely high, although your lead quality will probably be a lot higher too. I like a fine balance where I want the lead quality to have some friction, but I also want the cost per lead to be low enough where I'm able to justify spending money on that lead. And this is where I found the fine line, is by asking this particular question, where it's easy enough for them to answer, but it does add a layer of friction. So I hope that makes sense. This is the only question we're going to ask besides the 3 that Facebook asks. Okay. And then this is what it looks like on the form. So Facebook shows you a preview. You're going to hit next. Privacy policy, this is important. You want to make sure you go to your website and, I'll show you what that looks like. Most people have on your real estate website, if you scroll down to the very bottom, you most likely have a terms and condition or a privacy policy page. Where's mine? Privacy policy right here. Okay, all I'm going to do is click on that link, then click on the URL, and then go back to the link, put the link here, and that's it. Okay. Now we're letting Facebook know that this is our privacy policy. This is what the leads are agreeing to. Okay. You're going to hit next. Now, this is another very important layer in the actual process of setting up your Facebook ads is once the user or the lead has submitted the form, what happens next, right? I'm not talking about getting emails and text messages, etc. I'm talking about in the form itself, right? So they're not yet done. Their interest level is pretty high. So what I like to do is I like to direct them to either my website or a landing page where I can qualify them even further. Okay, now to keep things very simple, if you're just starting out, before you going in and start creating landing pages, maybe just send them to your IDX page on your website where they can go in there. So if you have a pixel on your website where it's tracking their activity, then it can pick up on that. Or if you have a CRM that's connected to your website, they're picking up the activity there. Okay, so what I like to do here is I go, thanks, you're almost done. I'll actually get rid of that. You're almost done. Actually, let's add that here. One last step. All we're doing here, we're just guiding people and telling them what to do. We're creating a call to action, right? So one last step, you're almost done. Click the link below for instant access to the list of Etobicoke condos, okay? And for the additional call to action, you're going to have go to website URL, and this is where you're going to have the link to the website. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our website under buying. Let's go to find my dream home. Actually, no, that's not the right one. Let's go to the listing search. Is this the right one? Property search, okay? So this is the IDX page on our website, and all I do here is, because this is condos, I'm going to click on home type condos. Where is it? Condo. Price range, I'm going to leave it at, let's just say, under 600,000 to keep it very attractive, and I'm going to leave everything else as is. So I've got 951 properties found. Okay, let's maybe narrow it down a little bit further. Condos under 500,000. There's a lot of good condo inventory right now, very well priced, so let's do that. Under 500,000, and for sale, yep. And then all you're going to do is, once you're satisfied with your criteria of whatever type of ad you're running, let's copy this link, because this link is going to have all of the criteria filters set in there already. And when people click on that link on Facebook, it'll bring them to this exact page with these filters on. So you want to copy that link URL and then paste it right over here. And so this is what they're going to see, right? Let's change the call to action to get instant access. Okay, so now when people fill out the form, they hit submit, they're going to come to this page, which is going to say, one last step, you're almost done. Click the link below for instant access to the list of Etobicoke condos. So now the whole reason people clicked on the ad is because they wanted a list access to that list, and now you're giving them access to that list right at the end. So you're delivering on a promise, number one, okay? And number two, you're capturing, hopefully you have a pixel on your website. You know, if you're not sure what a pixel is, don't get overwhelmed. You know, I've got a video on pixels as well. What it's doing, basically, it's tracking the activity of that person that's going on your website, and it's giving you that information saying, hey, this person went to your website, and then it logs it back into your CRM or wherever you're running your client database at. So that's the last step. You're going to hit on create form. Okay. Once that form is created, we're going to go down and leave everything else as is. Now, this is obviously important. We're going to put the ad creative itself. So let's go set up creative, click on image ad. And then what we're going to do is we're going to upload our actual ad itself. Let me see if I have anything here that's set up from before. Yep, I do. So, for example, this ad here, limited time price drop, condos from 540K. That's a good one. Let's hit open. Click on that, go next. Yep, original, that's fine. As long as they fit in the dimensions, it's good. Hit next. Okay, primary text. Now this is where I'm going to show you guys how to find or come up with a good primary text headline and description. Now, if you're wondering where I got the actual ad creative from, then I have a page where it's agentgrowthhub.ai/ad generator page. I'm going to link this in the description as well. You come on here. What this tool does, guys, is extremely powerful. This is AI-powered ad generator. It generates 5 different variations of ads, one's for condos, one's for price drop alerts, one for investors, one for upsize or downsizers, and one for family-owned homes. And what it's doing is when you put in here, you put in your email address, and then you put in your city or town that you're in. Let's just say you're in Pickering, Ontario. You put that there, and then you select your audience. I like to select buyers because they tend to perform the best on Facebook ads. Sellers, not so much. The lead quality is very high. It's a whole other topic I'm not going to get into, but I always run buyer ads because buyers also tend to be sellers. So you want to hit that, and you want to hit generate Facebook ads. What this is going to do is it's going to take real-time data of the market in Pickering, Ontario, do research in the back end, okay? And it's going to find out what leads are performing and converting the best on Facebook ads in Pickering when it comes to real estate. It's going to gather real-time data on the market stats, the price, and also the type of ads that are converting the best, including ad copies. So this is literally acting as your marketing agencies that you spend thousands of dollars to every single month to get this data for you and come up with ad creatives, and you now have this in the palm of your hands, all for $50 for 5 professional ad variations. Okay, this is only for my clients, but I've opened this up to now to the public where you can actually go and start using this tool. It uses AI for generating all of the ad creatives. As you can see examples here, it researches the market, finds the best ad angles, creates high converting creatives, writes captivating copy, and delivers the complete package to your email. So now this is exactly what an agency does. An agency you hire to do copywriting for you to come up with the headline, description, and title. Well, now it's going to do all that work for you. And when you hit submit and you go through the process, it takes about 9 to 10 minutes for it to actually run through the whole model, because it's, again, doing all the research in the back end. And then once it's ready, this is the kind of email you're going to get, okay? And it shows you, this is the condos, price drops, and it's doing real-time data on what condos are selling for in Toronto. It reduces it by 10-15% so that it's a little bit more attractive, and then it creates the ad copy for you, including the description, primary text, and the headline right over here. This is literally what marketing agencies charge thousands for, and it's incredible. This is a rental ad that I just created as part of the same campaign. Here's one that is for downsizers for senior-friendly condos. Here's one for distressed homes for investors, and the last one is for first-time buyers, because it understands that this is what people in Toronto are looking for, again, based on all the research. So because we're doing condos as our first ad campaign, I'm going to stick to this because this is the ad that I have loaded onto my ads manager right now. And I'm going to copy the primary text right over here. Okay, let's go down and copy it, paste it here. Primary text, we're going to go back to the email and then copy the headline, which is right here. Okay. And then for the description, I'm going to do the same thing. Copy the entire description, go back, and then paste it right over there. Okay? And that's it. So super simple, as you guys can see. All I had to do was just go to this ads generator. It not only did all the research for me, it gave me the best ad creative itself, and it gave me the ad copy. So it gave me the headline based on research on what converts the best. It gave me the description, and it gave me the primary text of what's actually working in this market on Facebook ads. So it did all the work for me, so I didn't have to think about it or do research myself or hire a copywriter or a marketing agency. Once you're done all that and you've inputted all of your headline, description, and primary text, for call to action, I like to leave it as learn more. Okay, and then you're going to hit next. And this is Facebook's way of saying, do you want to add enhancements? I've been testing this out lately, and I'm finding that it's working quite well. So I actually just leave it as is. All it's doing in this one is adding its own overlays, and it's using some visual touch-ups. Sometimes it's adding music, depending on what's performing. So I like to leave these on, and then I'm going to hit done. And there it is. Your ad's ready to be launched. Okay, everything is right here. Your ad copy, your ad creative, your headline, primary text, description, it's all here. And now you want to just double check everything, make sure it's fine. You go up here. Okay, you've got one. Oh, last thing. We talked about ad set and the actual ad version. So now all you have to do once you've created the first one is just go to these 3 little dots next to the V1 that you just created, hit quickly duplicate, and now it just duplicated the first ad for you into the second ad. So now all you're going to do is you're going to go in here because you did all those settings. So you don't have to do it all over again, create a form all over again for your second ad. All you're going to do now is just go in here, hit V2 for the second ad. And the only thing you have to do now is just go down here, delete this media, and then add a new image. Okay, and then it's that simple. So now let me find another price drop one. So there's another price drop for condos. I'm going to select that one. And all I'm doing here is just replacing the first photo with the second. Leave everything else as is. All of the primary text, headline, and description, again, is already in there. But if you want to use a different one based on what you just generated from this engine, then go ahead and do that. But I'll leave it as is. Next, done. And now here's my second ad that's ready to go. So now I'm running 2 ads within this ad set. Now all you're going to do in the next one is you want to, again, because remember I said earlier we're going to run different ad sets for different audiences. So now you want to go to the ad set level, which is Realtor/Zillow audience, and you're going to duplicate that as well. So once you hit duplicate, now what you're doing is you're split testing different audiences, because Facebook ads is all about split testing. So here we're going to go ahead and get rid of the ad set name to, this is the copy, so we're going to call this wide audience, because now you want to let Facebook figure out its own audience. So click wide audience, leave everything else as is, don't touch anything else, because remember we've already done all the settings. But the only thing you're going to change here is when you come down, you're going to get rid of the detailed targeting, okay? Because now we're not telling Facebook what kind of interests to look for. We're now letting Facebook decide, hey, Facebook algorithm, you've seen the ad, you've seen the ad copy, the headline primary text that I'm giving you. Based on that, go figure it out. Figure out where the audience is. And again, Facebook is a billion-dollar company with a billion-dollar algorithm. They're very good at what they do, and I trust them enough to figure out what it does. So you might be thinking, well, Sid, why are you then running a Realtor or Zillow audience and Facebook algorithm audience? Why don't you just let Facebook figure it out? That's a great question, and the reason I run it is because, again, I want to split test. Facebook is all about split testing. There's been times when Facebook's algorithm and the wide audience has produced better results, but there's also been times that Realtor and Zillow audience have produced better results, and it just depends on what kind of ad you're running. So that's why it's important to split test. When you have split test, you have data, and based on that data, after a few days of running this, you can turn off the one that's not performing as well. Okay, so again, once you've copied the ad set, just rename it and just remove the targeting details from there. And the last and only step required is to just hit publish. And once you hit publish, Facebook will go into review. It'll say processing over here. That means they're going into review. They're making sure that, okay, what kind of ads are you running? Is there any, explicit content in there that's not allowed? Is the housing category ticked on? So Facebook is doing a quick review. Takes a few hours. Sometimes it may take 24 hours, but Facebook, once it gets reviewed, it'll show approved and the ads will be running. And now all you got to do is sit back and collect leads. Guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Now, if you're feeling completely overwhelmed and thinking, well, this is a lot of information, this Facebook Ads Manager looks very scary, and it can be because there's so many things going on within Facebook. I actually have a platform where you can run Facebook ads from that isn't so scary. Okay, it takes the best of Facebook Ads Manager and then just makes it so much simpler. And it is in my CRM that I've built that has everything you need for running leads engine. It's got a place to keep all your leads. It has AI texting, AI caller. It has a place to house all your leads. It has pipelines. And then, of course, it has Ads Manager where you can actually run these ads like I showed you, where if you go to create campaign, it's a much simpler process rather than having to go through layers and layers of different things on Facebook. It takes the best of Facebook Ads Manager that we've already discussed, and it just puts it in here in 3 easy steps. As you can see, add content, budget, and audience, and then the last review page. Super simple to follow. So if you want access to this, there's a link in the description where you can book a call with me to learn more about this, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. But if you found this helpful, guys, please give it a like and leave your comments and let me know what kind of ads you're running and whether or not your ads are actually performing well, and if you found this helpful. Thanks. Bye.